So Sony just announced their A7 version 3, and I just have some thoughts I wanted to share. Now, I'm not a professional photographer. I'm just a hobby photographer. I do a little for my work, but it's mostly just for myself to do for them. I started doing photography when I was in high school back in the 70s. I learned how to develop film in a dark room, black and white. I shot film for quite a few years. Kind of got out of it because it got expensive. Then when the digital age came, I picked up a few different point and shoots. I ended up with a Rebel XTI and then moved on to the screen on the back of that broke, and I ended up with a Olympus pen, and then now I have a Panasonic G7. I really love photography. I love video. That's a new dimension to photography for me, and I just love doing it and editing the videos. I get a great deal of satisfaction out of it. I don't foresee myself really doing it as a profession. I just want to do it for friends and for enjoyment. But nevertheless, I want to get good images. I want to get a good product. And so that's kind of a balance act, because I'm not making money at it, so I can't really afford all this expensive equipment, yet I'm not quite satisfied with the cheaper equipment. I do think my Panasonic takes great video. I'm not shooting on it now. This is just an iPhone. Actually, I loaned my camera out to somebody. But I just wanted to make this video to share my thoughts of where my mind's going, where my ideas have been. I've wanted to buy a better lens for my G7, one that's wider open than the kit lens, like a 2.8 or less. But I've been hesitant about it because I did buy some nice lenses for my Rebel, and then the mirrorless came along, and I just think, in my opinion, the mirrorless is the way of the future. And I love the fact that the pen and my Panasonic are smaller cameras. I like that fact. They're lighter, they're smaller, and that just feels me. I can even stick them in my pocket, and so I do like that idea. I like the idea that I'm looking at a viewfinder, at an electronic viewfinder, and seeing my exposure as I'm shooting. I'm not pulling back and peeking all the time. So I just think that the mirrorless system is the way to go, and I don't want to buy something that's a DSLR. I just don't want to do that. But then the other thing with me is low light. I think that low light's inevitable. You're gonna be doing it. I shoot a lot of different videos indoors. I've shot some wedding videos indoors, events. I'm not the event photographer, the wedding photographer. I've just done some and shared them with people. I've videotaped my daughter singing. She has a really good voice. She sings often, and it's indoors. So there's a lot of times I'm shooting indoors, and the Panasonic does all right, but when the light gets lower, I notice that the image sharpness goes way down. Also, I have this fascination with taking pictures of the Milky Way, even though I have not succeeded very well at it. It's a goal in my life to do some really nice Milky Way photos, and my attempts with the Micro Four Thirds system has not been so well. So I've wondered, is this really the system of the future? I think the Micro Four Thirds system was a great idea for the average consumer who just wanted a small compact camera that they could carry around, take, traveling, and even for some professional applications. But does it really have the room to expand onto doing low light stuff? Now, I know Panasonic just came out with the GH5S, but I have a little bit of a problem with that because it's only 11 megapixel or a little less than 11 megapixel sensor, and it does a really nice job in low light for video. But now you've compromised the fact that you can't get a really good size still photo, and so that's I don't know where you land on that, but it just bothers me a little bit. So it's like, where do I go? And I've looked at the Sony's, but the 6000, the 6300, the 6500. I just don't like the bodies on them. I don't like the battery situation there. They're just not the camera I would want to have. And so, I'm like, and then, Fuji's now come out with a couple nice, really nice cameras. I'm thinking, is that the way to go? And, it may be a good choice. But here now, Sony announces this new A7, and it just seems like the perfect camera for a person like me. I know it's expensive. It's $2,000, $2,200 with the kit lens. But that's also kind of a reachable goal. I mean, a nice Mac computer can cost that much. I mean, it is expensive, but it's not outlandishly that I couldn't dream of it and work towards that. Having the dual card slots, the full size sensor, which I really like because you can get that wide angle lens on there, that wide field of view. And you have that low light performance. That camera also offers the S video, and so now I feel like, and I love the body. I love the grip. I like the body a whole lot better than the 6500 and those ASP size mirrorless cameras that they offer. I just think that this is a wonderful camera, and I could imagine myself buying it and then later even saving up for the G Master or some other really nice lenses for this camera and seeing there's a future, because I just don't see the future in the Micro Four Thirds. I don't. And so that's where I'm at. And so now that Sony has this, I'm like excited. This is the camera I want. I haven't felt that in a long time. I've tossed back and forth. What should I do? But now I can say honestly, this Sony is the camera I want. To me, it's revolutionary because it packs all the things as a camera that can do so many good things, so many things well, and it's at a price that you could actually afford if you really worked at it. It's not, not $5,000 or something like that, or $3,500 even. That's a good $1,500 more than this camera, where, full frames are like that. And so I'm just excited about it. I don't know about you guys, but as just a general hobby photographer, I think Sony's done a wonderful job, and that's probably where I'm going to be going. Sorry my video cut out, but anyway, I just think that this Sony is the camera that I want. It's the first time in a long time that I've been excited about, that I really can bite into it. I can really say this is something I really want. There's not a lot of doubt there about this being the right system. So that's my thoughts as just a hobby photographer, an amateur photographer. I don't know if there's too many reviews out here like that, but that's from my perspective. I hope it's been beneficial. I hope maybe you've gleaned some thoughts from it. Anyway, if you have any comments, place them below. Thanks. Have a great day.